Hello, Professor. My name is Steve Quispy, and my presentation is about the trials of Gabriel Fernandez in Netflix. Hope you enjoy. So, a brief synopsis about this case was Gabriel Fernandez was physically abused by his mother, Pearl, and Pearl's boyfriend, Isauro Aguirre. Gabriel was 8 years old when declared dead. Pearl gave up Gabriel when he was born, and right after that, it led him to live with his uncle and grandparents until the age of 7. At the age of 7 is when she again held custody of Gabriel, and a year later, he unfortunately passed away. Here in this Netflix series, it shows that the government system undoubtedly failed him, and there were so many red signs to prevent his death. The teacher of Gabriel, his first grade teacher, was named Garcia. Her name was Garcia, and she noticed severe bruises on his head and face. She called the Department of Children and Family Services more than once when she started noticing all these bruises on his face, bleeding, swelling. She felt helpless at one point because the more she called social services and they were visiting Gabriel's house, the more Pearl would physically abuse his son, Gabriel. Gabriel asked her at one point, "Is it normal for your mom to hit you with a belt? Is it normal to bleed?" This was a major red sign showing that there was some form of child abuse here and something had to be done. And also, what was a red flag was Gabriel was absent for 13 days at one point after the teacher was calling social services a lot. So here in the Netflix series, it shows the LAPD's involvement in the case. Interesting to note that there was 9 deputies that visited the house, and not one of them filed a report. All 9 said there was no evidence of child abuse, and one deputy went to the extent to accuse Gabriel of lying. There were so many calls that the LAPD would go to the house. It was just repetitive for them to keep on going, and they felt tired, and then that's when they accused Gabriel of lying. So they believe that it is not their job to deal with children. Therefore, patrol cops often treat child abuse as a low priority. Meanwhile, if things were handled differently, if they made children their top priority, the case for Gabriel would have been really different. He probably would have been alive right now. So there's reform after the incident. Now they require deputies to file a one-page report regardless of any evidence of the crime. So the one thing that everybody who watched this series is infuriated by is, why didn't the social workers do anything to help this poor kid? So from the left to right, we see here, these are the 4 social workers involved in the case. Kevin Boom, Stephanie Rodriguez, Gregory Moret, and Patricia Clement. Stephanie Rodriguez was assigned to the case, and she was the one that would visit the household of Gabriel. Overall, these social workers did a poor job. The job for a social worker is to research and advocate for appropriate public assistance resources for children and provide crisis intervention as needed. There was not much focus on Gabriel's background and his mother. There should have been enough research to conduct an appraisal and prevent the death of Gabriel. It was just a mess. If you see the show, it is a mess. So the connections to forensic psychology to the field was the interrogation of Gabriel's siblings, Ezekiel and Virginia. They were cross-questioned at one point to find out like what had happened when they were actually there for the death of Gabriel Fernandez, their brother. The connection to the field was also the LAPD and their poor work. But now with the reform, it probably prevents the chance of this happening again. The social workers also relates to the field as well. And the diagnosis of Pearl's depressive disorder, developmental disability due to a rough upbringing, and starting to consume alcohol at the age of 9. This is the symptoms of a conduct disorder that we learned in class as well. So all of this, overall, this case connected with the field to an utmost degree, because it it proved it proved that with ample research, this Gabriel probably would have still been alive today. Thank you.